Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, your favorite tarot reader, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at how do people view you when you first walk into the room. I'll try to be as accurate as I can, but it is a bit tricky when reading for the collective. If you want something more personal, you can always check in with the psychic for a more in-depth description. Speaking of which, I tried a clairvoyant from Psychic Source, and yes, they're sponsoring today's video. Thank you, Psychic Source. I got matched with a clairvoyant through their site, and honestly, I wasn't expecting her to be that accurate. I gave her no personal info, just asked about my future love life, and somehow she instantly picked up that I'm already in a relationship. She literally said, "Why are you asking about the future without mentioning him?" I was literally speechless, but then I remembered that's kind of what I do too. Still a shocking experience to be on the receiving end of it. She described my future partner as someone who makes me really happy, with great communication and a bond that can handle anything. But the part that really stuck with me, she said she saw my future husband giving me purple flowers. A few weeks later, nothing happened, so I kind of forgot about it. Then we saw a tattoo promo on Instagram. My boyfriend sent me his ideas so I can book, and boom, a purple flower. Not a bouquet, but I'm definitely taking that as a sign. You can chat with gifted advisors however you're most comfortable, phone, video, or even text. Setting up my account on their website was super easy, and they have this quick little quiz that helps you find a psychic based on what you're looking for, whether it's love, past lives, energy readings, whatever. It made the whole process really personal and intentional. What sets them apart is the level of care and integrity. Only 2% of their applicants actually become advisors, so you know you're speaking to someone who's truly gifted and held to high ethical standards. And they back everything up with a no risk guarantee. If you're not happy with your last paid reading, it's free. For a limited time, you can use my code Siren at psychicsource.com when checking out, or you can just click the link in my description box below at trypsychicsource.com/siren. You'll get up to 40 minutes with an advisor for just $19.80. That's up to a $240 value. You don't have to use it all in one session. You can spread those minutes out across multiple advisors to see who you truly resonate with. They also donate 1% of your purchase to charity at no extra cost to you. Oh, and yes, I do get paid for this promo, so when you sign up with Psychic Source, you're feeding a perpetually hungry, slightly dramatic psychic, that'd be me, and funding my next impulsive crystal purchase. As you can see, the channel needs some new crystals, but that's all for now. Thank you again to Psychic Source for sponsoring today's video. So getting back to your pile selection, for pile 1 we have clear quartz with a star. Then for pile 2 we have purple cat's eye with a 3 of cups. And for pile 3 we have sodalite with a 2 of swords. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. You can either pick based off your zodiac sign, and these zodiac signs are in the thumbnail, or you can pick the pile you're most drawn to. So once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, then I'll see you at your reading. Hi pile 1, if you chose the clear quartz crystal and the star card, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at how people view you when you first walk into the room. So since this is a general reading, only take what resonates, leave the rest. Spirit guides of pile 1, please tap me into the energy of my pile 1s and people's view of them when they first walk into the room. How do people view them when they first walk into the room? So I'm hearing the word graceful. There's something also about people feeling insecure when you walk into the room. That's what I feel energetically. There's just something about you looking very glamorous, Queen of Wands and seeming very confident, self-assured. Like you're kind of walking with confidence and with some kind of energy of boldness. And you attract a lot of desire from others, like other people desiring you, whether that's in a romantic, sensual, or platonic way. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands, Three of Swords, and the World reverse. There's almost this feeling of people being scared you will reject them if they kind of try to flirt with you. They're scared you reject their advances. And there's something about people almost feeling small when you walk into the room. I don't know why. This is just what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. I see people almost like just feeling small, feeling like they're not good enough to be around you. It's almost like this inferior feeling being around you. I don't think that they think you're better than others, but something about the way you carry yourself kind of makes them feel like, why would you even want to be around me? The energy could become like weird when you walk into the room, where some people are kind of like standoffish and some people almost seem like a little bit more nervous or withdrawn, not because they don't like you, but because they're intimidated by you. Especially like your beauty, your confidence, your boldness. It's kind of like you're the center of attention with the Star and Queen of Wands. Even if you don't try to be, it's kind of like you become the center of attention. A lot of people like to stare at you when you walk into the room. There's something about you seeming like you know you're that girl or that guy. And there's just something about you seeming like you put a lot of effort into your look, like you are almost high maintenance in a good way. What I'm also noticing here is we have a lot of glitter in these cards, so it's almost like you sparkle in some way. Even if you're not literally wearing glitter, something about that is coming through. You seem like you are confident and bold with your style and the way you carry yourself, but you also seem like you have some kind of pain you're healing from with the Three of Swords. So people kind of see a little bit of sadness in your eyes, and with the feel of your energy, it feels like you've been through some things, but you are healing and you are finding that inner softness again, learning to be gentle with yourself, kind with yourself. And although these things you're healing from seem like you're struggling to let go of it with the World reverse, you are finding that like inner joy again. Your spark again. You seem kind of like an open book. Not too trusting of others, but an open book. You seem like you know how to be vulnerable with others, and you seem like you kind of just aren't ashamed of like sharing parts of yourself or your life. You kind of just share that freely, even if it's to a stranger. Of course, you're not going to go and share like your secrets and stuff like that, but there's just something about like being comfortable with who you are, it seems. And you also seem like the type of person that wouldn't change yourself to fit in or please others. So we have the Five of Wands underneath the Queen of Wands. So this could represent competition energy. Like I said, some people may become a little bit standoffish because maybe they almost want to compete with you in a way. They're intimidated by you again. Okay, then we have the Knight of Wands. And we have the Nine of Wands. So you seem to have dealt with challenges in your life, but you seem like you're not letting it get you down. You seem like you've experienced a lot of frustration and you could easily get stressed out or frustrated, but there's just something about like wanting to live a soft life, not wanting to experience challenge or be in drama. Even if other people try to put you in drama, it's almost like you seem kind of unbothered, like you don't want to entertain that or give any attention to it, because you don't want to let little things stress you out in a way. Again, like you want to feel soft and at peace, and you don't want anybody trying to bother your peace. I almost see them like a fly, and you almost just flick the fly away and you're like, fuck no, get out of my face, like kind of energy. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing that. When I started your reading, I was like hearing minimum wage who? Like there's almost this energy of like, I'm too good for that. I'm too good for drama. But not in an egotistical, cocky way. It's more like, I value myself. No thanks. Like, you know, you want better for yourself and your life. You know what you want. That's how you come across. And you seem like someone that can be ambitious at times, not competitive, but competitive with past versions of self, where you're always trying to improve. And if even after like change happens or improvement happens, it's not like you just stay there stuck at that same level. You're constantly improving. That's how you at least seem to others in terms of how they view you when you first walk into the room. You also seem like somebody that maybe has been impulsive in your life, and you've kind of had to clean up the drama after that, or whatever kind of consequence it left after. So now it seems like you're maybe trying to still have fun, but kind of like make sure you're being aware of your own actions, I guess. So we have the King of Cups. We have the Ten of Cups. You also seem like you have high standards in dating and love. Like, I'm getting this energy of princess treatment only, or don't talk to me. Like in a sassy, cute, soft way. It's not even coming through as harsh. I feel like your energy just feels very soft and gentle as I'm in the energy. I even feel like talking that way. So yeah, like you know what you deserve and what you want. Knight of Swords. There's something about appreciating like funniness or jokes. Like maybe you're into guys or women that kind of know how to make you laugh. Or you have a lot of people trying to make you laugh as a way of like flirting, like subtle flirting, but not really flirting. Strength reverse at the back of the deck makes me think of the vulnerability I spoke about before, how you're just like aware of your own strengths and weaknesses. Nobody can tell you, oh, you did this wrong, because you already know and you're already fixing it before they even say anything to you. So you're already admitting it and you're already taking responsibility for it, owning it. So nobody can tell you, oh, you're bad at this or blah, 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 because it's like you're already aware of your strengths and weaknesses. Nobody can hold it against you. And that is how people view you. They also view you as someone that is connected to your own childlike joy. And you seem like someone that's playful, doesn't take life too seriously. But you also seem kind of comforting and like you would enjoy physical affection. But the people you're closest to, like let's say you walk into a room with a best friend or a lover or whoever, it almost just seems like you guys have a playful, lighthearted, yet deep connection where it's full of emotion and full of like you just feeling connected to that person, but it also feels lighthearted in a way where you're constantly like making jokes, laughing. I just see images of that in my mind's eye with you and another person. Some people admire but also envy the relationships you have. And this is like people you're really, really close to if you walk into the room with them, where they almost want that for themselves, that kind of relationship. And when you do walk into the room with someone you already know, it's almost like other people are scared of like coming to you and trying to be your friend because they almost feel inferior compared to this other person, knowing that you know them better and you get along with them better and they just maybe met you in that moment. So they almost feel like they have to compete with that person. You seem like you get excited about things easily. We have Strength Reverse, which we just spoke about. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. So yeah, you just seem very chilled, relaxed with the Four of Swords. That's how people are viewing you when you first walk into the room. Yet there's also like this fun energy about you. You don't seem very impatient. You like to kind of get things done fast and efficiently, but not rush the process. Still to a point where you can still enjoy the process and it's not feeling like a rush. At least that's how they're viewing you. You kind of seem like the type of woman or man that would be spoiled by your partner, where your partner is like constantly buying you flowers or taking you out on a date, or you're taking them out on dates. Something about like being spoiled or pampered by your partners coming through. Or if you're not in a relationship, then people would imagine you to be like that in a relationship. There's something also about leaving the function early to go home. You kind of seem like a little bit of a homebody. Again, there's like this cozy, warm, comforting feeling people get when they're around you. They feel very comfortable around you, even in first meeting. Like they can just tell you about themselves. And part of that comes from you being so open. It just makes them feel relaxed in your presence, where they don't feel like they have to pretend or put on a mask or over exaggerate their facial expressions with you. It just feels comfortable and easy to talk to you. You also seem like you're really dressed to impress in some way. Like people are really taking note of your outfits. And you seem like you would like to live a life of comfortable luxury where you don't want to struggle financially. You want to have enough, not just so that you can take care of your needs, but so that you can have the things you want to and spoil yourself. I mean, you work hard for your own money, you should get to spoil yourself too. And I feel like you're kind of embodying that energy, or at least that's how people are viewing you when you first walk into the room. You seem like the type of person that would easily get disappointed, but almost make it seem like you're okay. Because I feel like people see you as someone that's a giver, a nurturer, someone that cares deeply about the people in your life, and it's almost like you would go above and beyond for them. And maybe when you don't always have your expectations met, where maybe you do something for a certain someone and you expect the same in return, maybe they don't realize it and they don't mean to maliciously hurt you, but it's kind of like it does disappoint you in that moment. You also seem like you have a good music taste, a variety in your music taste where you can enjoy like many different genres. And you seem like you know how to like also be the life of the party, dance, get everybody else dancing if you're going to like some kind of night event or party or something. I'm seeing like somebody dancing at a party in my mind's eye, which is why I mentioned that. And like as they're dancing, everybody else starts dancing. So it's almost like you liven the energy around you. Even if it's not at a party, you kind of make people almost want to match your energy. Though there's still this homebody energy of like, I prefer to be in bed. You have a lot of people secretly admiring you, crushing you on you when you're walking into a room. The reason I say that is because I see this image of you like standing there and a bunch of people around you staring at you, but they're almost like translucent in a way. Like imagine a ghost, but they're not a ghost. They're an actual human being, but they're almost like staying hidden. The translucent energy makes me think of staying hidden, like staring at you without trying to make it seem like they're staring kind of energy. People also take note of your hair. Your hair looks styled in some way. I see like glossy waves that are kind of voluminous, or I see like lace front wigs that are laid nicely. And I even see hair that is like darker or like a light brown or dark brown. And I see like softer waves as well. Less voluminous, but like more soft and natural. So those are the three different variations of hair I see in my mind's eye. People also take note of the bags you wear, whether it's a handbag or actual bag. And it seems like you have very striking features that almost stand out, kind of like dramatic features in a good way. So now I'm going to pull some of these like little papers that I wrote down on. So firstly, I'm going to use it to kind of just like interpret how they view you. And then I'm going to get some zodiac signs for the people watching you and viewing you, and some initials for the people watching you and viewing you. Okay, so how do they view pile 1? Just going to pick randomly. I hear femininity. So if you're a woman, you come across as like very feminine. If you're a man, you don't have to take that message. We have Mercury with communication, thought process, and intellect. But I heard with this that people feel very, very connected to you after first talking with you. Even if it's the first meeting, they just feel the strong connection with you. Like they click with you in some way. For some reason, I heard nicotine. I don't know if someone smokes here. Neptune with dreams, illusions, fantasy, idealism, spirituality, and imagination. So Mercury is associated with Virgo and Gemini, and then Neptune I think is Pisces. I could be wrong. Okay, Libra, Virgo, confirmation. For some reason, I'm seeing Cleopatra's tombstone. Like, I'm seeing an image of Cleopatra and then a tombstone. I don't know. Maybe you remind people of Cleopatra. 4th house with home, roots, family, foundations, mother, wife, children, womb. Then we have Chiron with wounded healer, deep core wounds and healing. I kind of felt anxious when I pulled the 4th house. So maybe there's something about like having anxiety around a specific family member, where I'm even like shaking when I talk about this. I don't know why. There's a family member that possibly makes you just very anxious. And I think it's like your nervous system maybe remembering what was done or what was said to you, where these wounds are like still playing out in your nervous system, where your nervous system almost remembers that, your body remembers that feeling, even if you aren't consciously scared of this family member in the moment. Aquarius, Aries, and Gemini. Okay. So with Libra, there's this energy of like beauty, embracing the process of getting ready, you know, beautifying yourself. You seem like someone that would also have an eye for aesthetics, or like you also seem like you would make your own home beautiful. And you don't seem superficial when it comes to looking for a partner, but you like someone that kind of is aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but someone you can also have communication with, great convos with. Like maybe you're a very talkative person with Mercury, but maybe you also like deep conversations with Neptune next to it. Maybe you also like gossip with Libra here and like talking about beauty and all those things, or fashion, those kind of things. But there's something about you just seeming like you're very connected to your intuition as well. Like you almost seem like you're in your own fantasy world, or like you're kind of in your own world, like you have a great imagination. And you seem like someone that speaks very positively as well, or tries to think very positively and reframe your mindset around certain things, where you'd like to look at things in the ideal kind of way rather than the worst possible outcome. Some may think it's a little bit delulu, but some may think, wow, this person's so positive. But don't let other people's limited beliefs get in your way. So you also seem very you seem very focused, and like you pay attention to the little details. You pay attention to little details of what people say. You remember things people say. You remember their name, like little things like that. And you maybe even seem like you pay a lot of attention to the details to do with your look and style, and everything kind of just matches and coordinates in a way. You seem like someone that's organized, and you seem like you come across as like someone with a very eloquent way of speaking, but also dreamy way of speaking. Especially with Virgo Mercury, since it's next to each other, I kind of see this energy of like speaking in a way that shows intelligence, being very well spoken in a way. But you also come across as someone that's kind of nurturing in the way you speak. Like, let's say someone was crying, you seem like you would comfort them. There's some kind of anger towards a family member that people maybe sense. Again, you just seem like very talkative and chatty. But you also seem unique in a way. But you also seem like you'd go from 0 to 100. But again, you're trying to find your inner peace and stability and not let people sort of get the reaction out of you that they want. You also seem like you would be a good mother or father, or you would want children. If you already have children, then maybe people think that. And I'm hearing the word charming. Okay, so now I'm going to actually take a look at some signs for people that are watching you, viewing you. So you could get a little bit of insight into who this is that's viewing you this way. Let me know how this is resonating so far. And if you enjoy this, you can check out my membership. Okay. So we have Cancer. We have Scorpio. We have Leo. We have Pluto. I hear that there's someone watching you in a sort of mysterious way. So Pluto says transformation, power, deep psychological processes, and it's also associated with Scorpio, I think. Then we have Saturn, which is associated with Aquarius and Capricorn, which says restriction, limitation, lessons, responsibility, discipline, and karma. We have Jupiter with expansion, luck, wisdom, and prosperity. So it seems like you have people watching you that are very confident within themselves as well. And I guess that wouldn't be the people that felt inferior next to you, where they'd celebrate you and hype you up. But you maybe also have some people with a little bit of a either weak ego or over the top ego, where it's like they don't like another person taking the attention of them. It hurts their ego in some way. You also have some people watching you that, why am I getting dizzy in the energy? Weird. Maybe you have someone watching you that gets dizzy easily, maybe has anemia, something like that. Anyways, you have people watching you that are maybe a little bit older with Saturn, but also young with Jupiter. People that are responsible, but also people that are kind of like free-spirited and expansive. Very disciplined, like responsible people, but also people that are kind of like fun and loving and just joyous in a way. Then you also have like intense emotional people that watch you. So let's get some initials. If you hear construction outside, sorry in advance. I'm hearing step by step, so you may have some people that are watching that are kind of like meticulous in a way. F, M, which reminds me of a radio. So you maybe also have someone watching you that's like into music more than the average person. I also feel someone watching you that is almost like scared to speak to you but wants to approach you, very shy. G, X, E. Someone that possibly rides a motorbike or bike, L, B. I don't know why LB is reminding me of that Brett scene where I think it was Dylan, where he had, I don't know if it was Dylan. What was his name? Anyways, he had this book called LBB, his little black book, where he wrote all the names of all the women he wanted to be with. And then the Bratz girls were like, you're never going to be with these girls. And then he was like, you know, I'm going to be with them. Sorry for my laughing, kind of like did this. Anyways, K, so maybe you have like a lot of people like wanting to be with you, crushing on you, like I said. O, and V. Something about like noticing the stomach area, the hip area looking snatched, U. Or just looking very muscular if you're a man, or just nice, M. Again, and Y. So that is where I'll leave your reading. Let me know how this resonated down in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and you can check out my membership. And I can't wait to see you next time. Thank you. Hi there, my pal twos. If you chose the purple cat's eye crystal and the 3 of cups, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at how people view you when you first walk into the room. So firstly, there's something about you smelling really good. Like when you walk past people, it's almost like the scent or trail you leave behind is just so beautiful and irresistible that people almost like want to be next to you or close to you to smell your scent again. It's almost like heavenly in a way. You also give off this cool girl, cool guy energy when you walk into the room. And I feel like a lot of people almost like want to come straight up to you, compliment you, ask you what your name is, almost just like celebrate your existence. I feel like people have a positive reaction towards you when you first walk into the room. And I'm seeing this meme. I don't know if it's a meme, but a picture of Meg the Stallion doing this. So it's almost like people want to hype you up. That's what it's reminding me of. So spirit guides of pile 2. How do people view my pile 2s when they first walk into the room? I feel like people just like you and want to be your friend, want to be around you. There's almost this energy of like many people wanting to be around you and then almost like compete for your attention. Like, no, I'm talking to her or him first. You know, we have the Temperance card showing up reverse. Then we have the 8 of Cups upright. And we have the Page of Wands showing up reverse. So I'm seeing streetwear style on both men and women. So some of you could dress in that way. Or like, I'm even seeing Charlie XCX's album Brat. Like maybe some of you have that party girl, party guy vibe to you. You almost seem like you would have like a music taste that is maybe centering around that. I don't know if some of you like her specifically in her music or just like party music. You almost seem like you could be the life of the party, or like really fun to be around, but kind of nonchalant at the same time. And I feel like that almost makes people want to chase after you because of that nonchalant, detached vibe you're giving off. Some of you don't dress in a streetwear aesthetic, and some of you dress in like a very feminine, girly way. Like I don't know why when I look at this picture, it's almost reminding me of like ballerinas or like someone with like a soft pink coquette like aesthetic or something like that, like wearing a lot of dresses, very girly for some of the women here. I'm also seeing a full face of makeup, but you look very good. You know how to pull it off. But I'm also seeing like a femme fatale, sexy, bad woman, bad guy kind of look. Almost like a heartbreaker energy. So those are the variations of different looks I see. But either way, people, even if I don't mention your specific look, this is just what I'm seeing. Either way, people just celebrate the way you look, the way you're dressing specifically. They really like your taste in fashion. And some of you like to wear vintage clothes because I'm seeing like vintage clothes in my mind's eye. You seem like the type of person that doesn't need a lot of money to even have a nice fashion taste. Like, you seem like the type of person that would go thrifting a lot or something. Like, you seem like you don't even need money to have fun. You also seem kind of impatient, a little bit hot-headed, but it's not coming through as bad. It's coming through as a little bit sexy. I don't know why people are thinking your hot-headedness seems sexy. But there's also like an underlay of a vibe of like, don't F with me, don't mess with me. There's almost this fear in people of like, I'd be scared to speak behind your back or scared to mess with you. Because I know if I speak behind your back, I say I'm in the energy. I know someone's going to tell you because you're just very well liked by people that someone is eventually going to tell you. And I know I'm going to be cowardly when you do approach me or confront me because you seem kind of like confrontational. So that's kind of the reaction people are getting from you, or giving you, if that makes sense. So I guess people are kind of scared of you in a way. We have the Eight of Swords. We have the Emperor. And we have the Chariot. I don't know why. I'm seeing this image of someone with like multiple people wanting them, like throwing themselves at them, but then rejecting all of them. Like, let's say you are in a romantic connection. Maybe you have like people constantly trying to hit on you, like multiple people in one day, one night. And it's like you reject all of them because you're taken. Or maybe you just like reject a few and accept a few. I don't know. That's kind of what's coming through. There's just like a lot of people that are sexually attracted to you. You have like a lot of sex appeal when you first walk into the room, that a lot of people are almost like thirsting over you, wanting to throw themselves at you. Even if that doesn't literally happen, that's the feeling I'm getting here. So people view you as someone that is in control of yourself and your own actions. You seem to have some kind of self-control or self-restraint in a way. But you almost walk with this energy of assertiveness and dominance. Not in a way of you trying to dominate other people, but just kind of like walking with your head high. Again, don't mess with me energy. There are very few people that get bitter towards you, but most people like you. And I feel like the people that get bitter towards you, it's because you won't let them walk all over you. Like, let's say someone says something out of pocket or does something out of pocket to you. You're not going to just keep quiet and let them get away with it. And maybe your words are your weapon in some way, I'm hearing. Like, maybe you almost just know how to, like, fight back with your words. But anyways, moving on from that energy, because I don't want the energy to be surrounding that this whole reading. I'm also seeing gifts and presents in my mind's eye. So maybe people want to almost give things to you in a way. If it's not an actual gift, this is like them wanting to buy you a coffee or something. Like, I feel like people want to spend money on you in some way, or you seem like the type of person that loves to give gifts and receive gifts. You also seem like the type of person that would always want to pay or be paid for or something like that. But there's this kind of energy of like you being around people and you both being like, no, I'll pay kind of energy. So that's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. You also seem like very loud, extravagant with your personality, but not in a way of people having a bad reaction towards it. I actually see a positive reaction towards it. I don't see people like looking at you in a negative way. Even with that dominant energy I mentioned, it's like I see people seeing it in a positive light. I'm hearing you struck a chord in someone with what I mentioned earlier about like your comebacks. You also seem wise, independent, like you're free in a way. You value your own freedom. You don't seem like you want to be tied down. You don't seem like you like clinginess in people either. Or like someone being like too emotional. Again, like there's this nonchalant air around you. But you also seem like an old soul if the people watching believe in past lives. We have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Swords. There's also a witchy energy here for some of you. Ace of Wands reverse, Nine of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. Okay. For some reason, I'm seeing Lana Del Rey. Maybe some of you are into her music. Or give off like a Lana Del Rey vibe. You seem to make other people nervous. Not always because of like fear of messing with you, but also because it's like they like you so much and they don't want to come across as too eager, is what I'm hearing. Now I'm hearing the word hostility. But I don't think you're the one being hostile. I think that's the energy I was picking up on, like some people being bitter towards you or hostile towards you and you not taking their BS. That energy is so dominating in a way that it almost wants to take over the whole reading, even though I'm trying to ignore it. So maybe you sometimes have people almost like wanting to get your attention, but in a negative way where they keep trying and keep trying. You know what I mean? Where they're almost like persistent and wanting to take that bitterness out on you. Anyways, I want to move on from that energy and not mention it. Spirit, please block out that energy. You seem like you have many different hobbies. Like interesting hobbies. Like I see somebody maybe making clothes or making jewelry or something like that. You also seem low maintenance in a way, like with your friendships. Like you seem like the kind of person that will want to catch up once in a while, not talk like every single day. You don't seem that affectionate, but I feel like people want to be affectionate with you. There's also this energy of playful banter, and you like making jokes that are kind of like funny, but it's kind of like you're pulling somebody's leg in a way. People do see you as charismatic, and there's an energy of you just standing out when you walk into the room. But I keep getting like this tempting, alluring energy, and people not wanting to seem like too interested even though they are. Queen of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and we have the High Priestess reverse. Okay, so I think that sometimes some people try to make it seem like they're interested in you for reasons that are more like genuine, but some people are interested in you because you catch their attention in a way where they're sexually attracted to you, but they try to make it not seem that way. And I think with the High Priestess reverse, sometimes those kinds of people get the feeling that you don't trust them. And I think sometimes you almost sense the energy where even if you don't sense that there's bad intentions or like intentions of like them coming from a superficial place, it's almost like you just don't trust them because something just doesn't feel right or something just doesn't click in a way. But it's almost like, I feel it's like your higher self trying to protect you in that moment from people that maybe aren't looking at you for the right reasons, if that makes sense, unless you're like open to just like casual connections. But that's what I'm seeing here basically. Yeah, you just don't seem trusting of people in general. And people assume that maybe it's because you've been hurt before and you're scared of getting hurt. You also seem like the type of person that will leave a conversation if it's boring, if it's just like, if you just don't like the person, you're not going to bother trying to talk to them. If you can see that the conversation's not going anywhere, you just leave the conversation. Or you seem like the type of person that would leave relationships or cut people off very easily if they just do you wrong. You seem like someone that's a good judge of character. And some of you seem kind of like you want to create some kind of legacy or generational wealth. Like if you had money, there would be signs, is what I'm hearing. If you were rich, there would be signs. There's something about like moving in a slow but sensual way. I'm seeing piercings, tattoos, a badass kind of energy too. I'm seeing fierceness as well, yet also intelligence, wittiness. I'm also getting Gemini energy, and someone that's almost like a fast thinker. You are unforgettable. You stay in people's minds even long after you leave the room. And people like to talk about this pile. So let's say you go somewhere, you go to someone's house, someone invites you there and they have their friend group there. Next time, maybe they have something and maybe you decide not to go. They're definitely talking about you. But it's not coming through as negative. It's more so the energy of liking to talk about you. You also seem a little bit distant and to yourself, but I feel like it makes people more eager to want to talk to you or be around you. You also seem like you get bored easily, but you need things to kind of like mentally stimulate you or keep you interested. And you also seem like the type of person that would have very interesting conversations all the time. like many interesting stories to tell. People get the feeling that some of you could have experienced loss or grief. And if you are a woman, other women think you're a girl's girl. If you're a man, same energy but different. Like you would kind of, I guess, stick up for other men if you're a man. You just seem like a very interesting person in general. And I don't know why I'm getting this, but like people assume you'd be down to do anything. Take from that what you will. Okay, I'm now going to pull some papers to see how people view you, and then I'm going to get some zodiac signs for the people watching you and initials for the people watching you. Okay. So I am also getting like this energy of black cat energy. Like almost nonchalant but sexy in a way. Like, you know, you're the prize. Leo, 4th house, home, roots, family, foundations, mother, wife, children, room. You seem like the type of person that had a parental figure that almost acted like your friend. Like this parental figure wasn't so strict. This parental figure always stood up for you and taught you to stand up for yourself. That's what people assume. People assume that, you know, with your parents, it's kind of like not too strict. Like they're kind of your friends where you can hang out with them. People also assume that you are a loyal person yourself, especially when it comes to your family. Like nobody can go and mention your family in a rude way. You also seem like the type of person that would want to decorate your home in a way where I'm almost seeing like Kylie's mansion. Like almost like there's an extravagance in the home. Some kind of Leo regal energy to do with the home. Okay. You also seem like you take good care of yourself and like you think highly of yourself. Aquarius. But there's also a uniqueness and an authenticity here that gives all that cool girl, cool guy energy. People can tell you're authentic. You're not coming from a place of, you know, trying to pretend to be someone you're not. You don't seem like you're faking it or being performative. Sagittarius. You don't seem like the type to be fake or pretend. If you don't like someone, you're not going to like be rude, but you're not going to pretend to like them. Virgo and Sagittarius. Cancer. And 7th house with relationships, marriage, contracts, partnership, equality. You appreciate attentiveness when it comes to your relationships and loyalty when it comes to your relationships. And almost like acts of service, perhaps. That's what people, I guess, assume in the way they view you. Like you would want someone to pay attention to the little details, to almost like plan dates, like be very thoughtful in a way. And acts of service. I also see that maybe you appreciate people that can keep secrets. Even though you come across as not very affectionate, maybe you have a lot of affectionate, emotional people around you. And although you don't come across as very affectionate, you allow them to be affectionate with you. You seem like the type of person that won't just like allow anyone to just hug you or touch you, but you'll allow the closer people to do that. And although you don't seem affectionate, you seem like you mean well and you still care about like the people closest to you, I mean. There's some kind of high standard when it comes to relationships with Virgo in 7th house. Almost like a pickiness when it comes to men and women. That's why maybe I got the energy of rejection. People assume you reject a lot of people. But you also seem fun, loving, free-spirited, but also like focused on your goals at the same time. Not irresponsible. I'm getting this energy of like work hard, play hard. Also very flirty, like you know how to flirt and be seductive. You also seem like you would be a cool mom or dad. Because I'm seeing Regina's mom where she's like, I'm not a regular mom, I'm a cool mom. Okay, let's get... Oh yeah, I wanted to get zodiac signs for the people watching you. People think you're career focused at the moment, like nothing is distracting you from your goals. But you're also going to go out and have a good time on the weekend, like you're giving that vibe. Taurus, third house with mind communication, learning siblings. When I pulled the sibling card, I saw like a lot of siblings, so some of you could possibly... Well, people assume that. Moon, emotions, subconscious moods. Pisces. So this is Gemini energy with the third house and Cancer energy with the moon. Then Neptune, I think, is Pisces. Dreams, illusion, fantasy, idealism, spirituality, and imagination. We have Capricorn. We have the 11th house with friendship, groups, social life, humanitarianism, technology, social media, hopes, wishes, future. Jupiter with expansion, luck, wisdom, and prosperity. And Chiron with wounded healer, deep core wounds, and healing. So I guess you have people watching you that are into spirituality, that almost have like a sensitive side to them, a sensitive, dreamy side to them. Maybe they... kind of think in like a fantasy kind of way where they're almost like head in the clouds. You have people watching you that are perhaps easily distracted in conversation or just in general. You also have people watching you that seem to have wounds around not feeling lucky, feeling like unlucky, feeling like stuck in a way, like they're not growing. You have people watching that seem to have a grounded, intellectual way of speaking, where they prefer facts over emotion, but can also take into consideration emotion. You also have people that are like dreamers, like people that want to speak about their dreams, their wishes, their hopes for the future. People that are open-minded, hardworking, and almost just like very focused and ambitious. You may have people that are sort of like wanting to talk about political things around you, watching you, that are viewing you, of course, like this. And it seems to be friends. Like, let's say you walk into a room where your friends are there. That's what I see with the 11th house. I guess you could also have people that maybe have already followed you on social media, and then you walk into the room and they're like, I recognize you, I follow you. So yeah, that's basically what I see. Let's pull some initials. With you, the messages are coming through as more straightforward. Like, I'm trying to go deeper, but it's just like very straightforward. Okay. So the first initial we have is X. So you could have a literal X that views you this way when you walk into the room. Like, let's say you go in familiar places where your exes hang out, or ex-friends. G. S. For some reason, I'm smelling like fast food. V. So this could be someone that likes fast food. N. VN makes me think this could be someone you literally send voice notes to. O, Q, R, Z, P, C. PC makes me think gamer, someone that likes to be on computers. F. I even see like sporty people. H. So that is what I have for you. I do hope this resonated. If you did resonate with this, let me know how it resonated in the comments below. Did anything really stick out to you? And if you like my readings, then you can check out my membership if you want to, of course. So please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Hi there, my pal threes. If you chose the Sodalite crystal and the Two of Swords card, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at how do people view you when you first walk into the room. So please note that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. So spirit guides of pal 3, please tap me into the energy of my pal 3s and people's view of them. Please show me, how do people view them when they first walk into the room? How do people view them when they first walk into the room? So I'm hearing you're glowing. We have the Emperor, the Nine of Swords, and we have the Five of Cups. So there's something about the languages you maybe speak, other than English or the languages the people around you know. I see you speaking like a different language. In my mind's eye, I'm seeing someone almost speak like an Asian language, but it doesn't have to be. And anyways, like I see people looking at you speak this language and they're wondering what you're saying, and it sounds very interesting. But they're kind of like wondering what you're saying in that moment. I'm even seeing like a Russian accent, so maybe there's something about your accent coming through. I guess people take note of the way you speak, maybe the languages you speak and your accents in general when you first walk into the room. You could have a very cute face. Something about them taking note of your facial features looking adorable and cute. And I'm seeing thinner, poutier kind of lips. I'm even seeing like a doll-like beauty. So people view you as cute when you first walk into the room, but there's also this energy of strength that you hold within. They can tell that you're someone with a strong personality. Maybe there's something about them viewing you as kind of stubborn, but in a good way, where you won't like budge on decisions you're making. Like if your mind is set on an opinion or a decision you're making, you're not budging. And this strong personality gives people the vibe that even though you're cute, they shouldn't say anything out of pocket to you, because you are going to say something back. You give off that vibe. There's something about depth showing through. People can tell that there's more to you than meets the eye. Even if they don't know you, even if they're a stranger and you walk into the room, they can just tell you have a lot of depth. There's also something about you smelling good. But it's not a perfume smell I'm getting. It's more so like, I don't know if I'm getting the scent of like a body lotion or what, but it's not coming through as a perfume. I'm not sure what this is that I'm smelling energetically. It's like a nice scent that isn't sweet, but more strong. I don't think it's even body lotion that I'm smelling, but anyways, there's just something about your scent coming through that people notice. You could have very like intense, a very like intense gaze. Like when you look at people, when you look at them, it kind of feels like you're looking through them. There's also something about your eyes, where people can tell that you're paying attention, that you're focused. But your eyes also, I feel like when you're making eye contact with people, you sometimes like intimidate people because you're really like making eye contact with them and staring at them. But there's like this strong presence that you have where it's like you can be kind of intimidating but cute at the same time. And it's not coming through as negative. I think some people even see this intense gaze as kind of seductive. Some people may view you when they first meet you as someone that is a little bit flighty, or I don't know if flighty is the right word to use, but kind of like airy in a way where one moment you're there, the next moment you're not, the next moment you're somewhere else. So let's say you go to an event, you're like talking to one person for 5 minutes and you go talk to the other person, and it's kind of like this airy feeling. I don't know how to explain this. It's like this airy feeling of like you're here one moment, that you're not anymore, then you're somewhere else. I feel like people want more time with you, but then it's like you go somewhere else. I'd say maybe a little bit distant, but I guess people kind of just see you as maybe this like more extroverted person that wants to speak to multiple people, and you don't just want to like hang out with one person throughout the whole day or whole night. Especially like if you're talking to people when you walk into like a room or event or something. But it's almost seductive in a way, like where they want to be closer to you. You have like this mysterious presence that people enjoy. And you could dress in more of a modest way. But I feel like when you speak, you are almost like captivating in a way where you hold people's attention for a long time. We have the Three of Swords reverse. We have the Moon. And we have the High Priestess reverse. So you kind of seem very suspicious of other people and their intentions. You seem like you don't trust people too easily. You seem a little bit, again, like mysterious, private to yourself a little bit, but also it's not like you're withdrawn in a way where you're not talking to anybody, because you still seem very talkative and chatty, but it's not like you're opening up to people too much. There's this feeling of like, I don't trust you yet. You're a stranger to me. Like, don't try to cross the line. So let's say someone is trying to get like really deep with you on the first meeting, and it's like they're trying to overshare with you. It makes you almost feel like you don't want to be around that person, because you guys have not built that kind of relationship where you can be that vulnerable with each other already. You know what I mean? It's like when people jump the gun too fast, or they become too affectionate too fast. It's like, whoa, back up. It's like that kind of energy you're giving off. I don't know if I'm explaining this properly. This energy is coming through is a little bit confusing to put into words, so sorry about that, but I hope I'm making sense here. So I feel like people are kind of confused when they meet you. It's like they see the energy, but they don't know how to describe it quite. It's like an indescribable energy that you carry, where if they had to describe this to another person, it would take time for them to put it into words and for them to understand what they're feeling here. But you also stay amicable with everybody, even people you don't like. That's how you're coming across. I see someone staring at you from across the room the whole time, and you almost like confronting them and being like, I see you've been staring at me the whole time. So there's this confrontational energy, not in the sense of confronting someone like with conflict, but saying things other people would be too scared to say. Like, you just call a spade, you just say it as it is. You're not afraid to say what's truly on your mind. And that's kind of like how people are viewing you when you first walk into the room. But people also guess that maybe you've been through pain and you're healing from it with the Three of Swords reverse. People also kind of guess that you are an emotional person, but you don't wear that on your sleeve. Like, you don't give people the power to hurt you in some way. Like, it's going to take time for them to even have you open up in some way, to even have you get out of your shell and trust them. It's going to take time. You're not naive. So that's how you are being viewed here. I think you kind of make people nervous in a good way, where they almost like want to impress you, where they almost want to over-explain. Like, I see you maybe having a conversation with someone after you walk into the room, and maybe you're silent for a few seconds, and then they feel the need to over-explain in those few seconds you're silent because they don't know what you're thinking. So again, you have like this intimidating presence where people kind of get nervous and they feel the need to impress you. We have the Page of Swords. We have the Three of Pentacles showing up reverse. We have the Nine of Cups showing up reverse. I feel like sometimes people have certain expectations that are not met with you. So let's just say someone has the expectation that you're going to become friends by the end of the night. And that doesn't happen because maybe you're the type of person that takes time getting to know people and even calling them a friend. You're not going to just jump into a friendship that fast or whatever. And then they're disappointed by the end of the night because their expectations weren't met. They thought this was going to happen, but it didn't happen. That's just like a simple example, but I guess you can take it how it resonates for you. If you've been in situations where you can see someone is expecting something from you, but you're not giving it to them, you will give it to them at your own time if you want to. You're not just going to give that to them because they expect it from you. I think people are very curious towards you when you first walk into the room, where they do want to get to know you. And that mystery enhances the curiosity in others. And even when they have a conversation with you, it's like you're hard to read or hard to figure out. People can't tell what you think of them or what you're feeling towards them. You could have like very stoic, maybe not stoic's the right word to use, but it's like you don't show your emotions on your face. You're polite in your facial expressions where you'll give like a small smile, but you're not like easy to read within the facial expressions. So people can't tell if you like them or not. And it makes them even more eager to people please as a result of that. Well, some people that are people pleasers, I guess. And then others that aren't in that behavioral pattern, they kind of just like, I guess, wait around to see what happens, but they are curious and they are like trying to figure you out in the process. Sometimes people wonder if you're judging them, but then they talk to you and you seem very friendly and polite, that they realize that was just an insecurity of theirs that was just in their head. So I think some people maybe have like certain projections they place onto you when they first see you, and then they realize that projection they put on you was not true. It was them just judging themselves in their own mind. I guess being afraid of like your judgment. It doesn't just have to be judgment, but it could just be like projections, like I said. where they think you wouldn't like them, but then you end up being polite to them or something. So people also view you as funny, like you have a good sense of humor, you're good with your words. Again, when people have conversations with you, it's like they just want to listen to you the whole time. And people don't even want to like interrupt you. And I also see this energy of people thinking that you're someone that has like big wishes and dreams for yourself that you're not giving up on. People kind of see you as a little bit of a realist, where you look at the world through a realistic perspective, not rose-colored glasses. You're not like looking at life as if it's sunshine and rainbows. And you don't look at love that way either. You're not coming across as someone that's naive when it comes to love. Like, let's say a friend of yours is like, oh, this man told me this, blah, 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 blah. Or this woman told me this, blah, 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 blah. And you're like to them, they're lying. I just know they're lying. But then that friend doesn't want to believe it. It's kind of giving me that vibe. People can also tell that the way you carry yourself, you respect yourself in some way, and you love yourself, and you're not going to make anybody, you're not going to let anybody like treat you anyhow. There's almost like this energy of self-composure in some way. People can just tell that like if they had to maybe tried to walk all over you, they wouldn't be able to. So you have like this strong presence and demeanor about you that says that you respect yourself. And you can also tell when people are bullshitting you. Sorry for my language, but it's like this energy of you can tell when someone's just trying to sweet talk you or lie to you. Like, again, you're not naive. That's what's coming through. So we have the Eight of Swords. Whereas another person would like eat that up and let the person sell them dreams. You're not. You can see the truth. You can see that this person's not genuine, you know. That kind of energy is coming through. So the Eight of Swords, the Hierophant reverse, and the Four of Pentacles. Okay, people wonder if you're like this family-orientated person, because you seem like family means a lot to you, just based off like first impression. You also seem intelligent, yet you don't try to show it off in some way. Like you don't try to seem smart, even though you are. If that makes sense. Like, no hate to anybody, but you know those kind of people that are smart, but then they almost like try to seem even smarter. You don't come across that way. And when you have something nice or like luxurious in some way, it seems like you're not showing it off either. So I guess people could see you as not necessarily humble, it's not coming through that way, but more so like you don't need the validation from others. There's something about you being able to just have knowledge of other people in the sense of you know everything about everybody else, but people can't figure you out. So somehow, some way, you just know the business of other people, or at least you're coming across that way, like you just know everything about them. But it's like they don't know anything about you. So that could be due to you being a more private person or just sharing surface level details about yourself in the first meeting or whatever. It doesn't even just have to be the first meeting, but just in general. I'm getting that scorpionic energy of like someone that is very private. You don't have to be a Scorpio, but this is the energy I'm getting. Someone that's like very private and, you know, I could tell a lot of stories about myself, but it's like they aren't really sharing much about themselves. Or you could just like know what's going on in other people's lives. I don't know if it's like people come to you with gossip or what, but it seems like you just know what's going on in other people's lives. There's also something about the way you walk into the room, because I'm seeing somebody walk into the room with sunglasses and they are almost like doing this catwalk as they're walking into the room, like walking like a model or something. So something about the actual way you walk and the way you're dressed, I guess it really impresses people. You come across as someone that's honest as well, hardworking, yet you also don't seem to give them much info on yourself even when they're curious. And I get that may cause like some nosiness in others where they try to find the information on you in other ways. And I guess it creates more confusion where people wonder, like, when are they going to open up to me? Do they like me or not? Then they're like, oh, I shouldn't take this personal. Maybe they're just private. I don't know, like that kind of energy is coming through where people question themselves like, oh, do they like me? Then they think about it and they're like, oh, I shouldn't take this personal. Maybe they just don't share a lot. Something like that's coming through in the energy. There's also something about you having respect for all types of people and viewing everybody as equal, whether it's you speaking to somebody that is, you know, a janitor, or speaking to somebody that's like in some kind of like high power position. It's like you treat people the same. That's basically what I'm getting here. You're honest in a way that can sometimes come across as a little bit too honest, but I don't think you should change that about yourself. This is just something people have noticed about you, where you will say things that other people are thinking but maybe too afraid to say. So perhaps you're coming across as kind of blunt in the way people view you when you first walk into the room. So now I'm going to pull some zodiac signs, some planets, some houses, just to read more into the energy. Then I'm going to take a look at, I guess, like the zodiacs of those that are actually viewing you this way. I recorded pile 1 and 2 yesterday, and I can't remember if I did the same for them. If I didn't, sorry, but okay. We have the 4th house with home, roots, family, foundations, mother, wife, children, room. So again, there's something about family orientedness, you just respecting your family a lot. We have the 11th house with friendships, groups, social life, humanitarianism, technology, social media, hopes, wishes, future. Again, I'm smelling that like nice smell that I was smelling before. 3rd house with mind, communication, learning, siblings. We have Pisces. We have Neptune with dreams, illusions, fantasy, idealism, spirituality, and imagination. Sagittarius. Chiron with the wounded healer, deep core wounds, healing. 7th house with relationships, marriage, contracts, partnership, and equality. Scorpio. And the last one is Taurus. So I'm just going to put this here because I'm still going to use it now. Okay, so people maybe assume that you are already in a relationship or married. There's this energy of people wanting to be friends with you, wanting to communicate with you more, like sort of pick your brain, understand you more. And I think people kind of view you in this like rose-colored glasses kind of way, where they're not viewing you like that, but how do I explain this? They're not viewing you as like you're that kind of person, but they're viewing you like that, where they're almost like creating this fantasy in their mind of like, oh, we're going to be best friends. Oh, you know, that kind of energy, where it's almost like they're thinking about their own expectations of what kind of relationship they would want with you, whether it's romantic, friendship, like we're going to be best friends kind of energy. I feel like people come on very strong with you, even in the first meeting, because they like you so much. And sometimes they're scared of scaring you away with their intensity, with their intense feelings, even in the first meeting. And sometimes that may rub you the wrong way because it's like, oh, I just met you. Why are you coming on so strong? And that doesn't just have to be with strangers, but I feel like people around you almost just have that energy towards you where it's like they put all their expectations and their fantasy of you onto you. And sometimes people may even have this fantasy of you in their mind, and then when you don't act like that, it's like they become weird towards you because they thought you were like this, but then when you turned out not to be like that, it kind of broke their whole view of you, if that makes sense. I feel like people get very emotionally attached to you very, very fast. And it's almost like they start to rely on you in some way or become codependent towards you. I almost feel like people become very clingy towards you because of their own unhealed wounds, where they become insecure, they become clingy, they become codependent. I don't know why, but they just do. I think people view you as this person that's like fun, but also self-composed, not reckless in any way. Again, like they see you as someone deep, someone that's stable. But again, it's like they put all their hopes and dreams into this connection with you. Excuse me, I see that. Okay, so now for the people actually viewing you this way. If we get like their zodiac sign or initial, that's just extra confirmation. Or if we get yours, extra confirmation. We have Jupiter with expansion, luck, wisdom, prosperity. We have Cancer. So you could have like a lot of water signs viewing you this way. We have Virgo. We have Gemini. We have Aquarius. I also feel Leo energy. And Capricorn. I'd also say maybe Pisces, Sagittarius. People are viewing you this way. So let's get your initials. So the first one I'm seeing here is W, D, T, Q. Feeling annoyed by my phone keeping on making I put it on silent. Maybe people kind of like are like that towards you, because I kept getting phone calls, messages during this pile and was annoying me, honestly, because I'm like focused here. MH, maybe people kind of like do that towards you, where they blow up your phone and become obsessed in a way that is almost like a turn off. X, N, and Z. So those are the initials we have here. I do hope that this resonated and confirmed some things for you. Let me know how this resonated in the comments below, and if anything stood out to you, I'd be interested to know. So yeah, if you did like this reading, then if you want to check out my memberships, you can. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time.